Is the Lakers front office really about to sabotage their hot start by chasing Daniel Gafford, the so-called pick-and-roll savior who's more hype than substance? Or are the boosters blind to the fact that reuniting him with Luka Doncic is just nostalgic nonsense that won't fix our glaring defensive holes? No. Let's slam the brakes on this blockbuster delusion. Trading for Gafford isn't the dynasty-sealing masterstroke. It's a reckless overpay for an average center who's already proven he's not championship caliber, without elite support. And if Rob Pelinka ships out Dalton Connect and picks for this middling rim runner, we'll be left with a bloated contract, a still leaky defense, and a fast track to regret as our 7-2 momentum fizzles into another disappointing playoff exit. Lakers Nation, welcome back to the channel where we don't just buy into the hype. We bust it wide open with the kind of raw, unfiltered analysis that cuts through the noise, gets you rethinking every rumor, and has you firing off your own takes in the comments like never before. I'm your host, the passionate voice who's been dissecting every purple and gold decision from the bubble ring to our current surge. And today, we're tearing apart the explosive rumor that's gained steam in the last 72 hours. Reports from Bleacher Report and multiple insiders confirming that the Los Angeles Lakers, riding high at 7-2 atop the Western Conference, are preparing a trade push for Dallas Mavericks center Daniel Gafford, aiming to reunite him with Luka Doncic and recreate the pick-in, roll magic that propelled Dallas to the 2024 NBA Finals. This buzz exploded amid the Mavericks' disastrous 3-8 start and the firing of GM Nico Harrison, positioning Gafford on his fresh 3-year, $60 million extension as in cakes perfecto for our system. Athletic lob threat and rim protector who could address our 23rd ranked defense and boost Doncic efficiency. Analysts like Zach Buckley from Bleacher Report are hyping it as a move that paves the way to a championship, pointing to Gafford's chemistry with Doncic. Their two-man lineups posted a plus 7.2 net rating in 2024, and suggesting a package including Gabe Vincent for salary matching, rookie sensation Dalton Connect for upside, and a protected 2031 first-round pick to sweeten the deal for a rebuilding Dallas desperate to shed veterans. It's being sold as a blockbuster that maximizes our offensive potential while shoring up the paint, especially with DeAndre Ayton's abysmal minus 14.4 net differential exposing our interior vulnerabilities despite our strong record. The logic seems sound on the surface. Gafford's elite athleticism, 72% finishing the rim, and 2.1 blocks per game last season could add the vertical threat our attack craves, turning Doncic vision into even more unstoppable lobs and easing the load on LeBron James as he manages his minutes at 40. But after scouring the most heated debates across U.S. media, from fiery threads on our /NBA, where fans are slamming it as overpaying for a role player who's flopped without stars, to podcasts like the Bill Simmons podcast, where Simmons rips similar reunions as desperate nostalgia grabs that backfire spectacularly, and amplified by contrarian hot takes on ESPN forums calling Gafford Gobert light without the impact. The most polemica, widely debated opinion raging right now is crystal clear and scorching. The Lakers should absolutely not trade for Daniel Gafford. It's a massive overpay that sacrifices our future for a limited center who won't fix our defensive woes or elevate us to dynasty status. And pursuing this reunion is short-sighted panic that ignores better options, potentially derailing our 7-2 momentum and leaving us exposed in the playoffs against true contenders like the Nuggets or Thunder. This isn't building a dynasty. It's chasing ghosts from Doncic's past at the expense of our present and future. Pelinka, pump the brakes and look elsewhere before this blows up in our faces. Let's unpack this step by step, shredding the hype with cold stats, brutal comparisons, and unflinching logic, then project why dodging this trap keeps our title hopes alive, while diving to turn our hot start into a cold finish. To understand why this Gafford pursuit is a trap disguised as a blockbuster, we have to start by exposing the myth of his perfect fit, and why his game, while flashing highlights, is riddled with limitations that make him a poor match for our needs, especially at the steep cost of connect and picks. Sure, Gafford's athleticism shines in pick and rolls. He converted 72% of lobs last season and averaged 11 points on efficient finishing. But that's largely a product of play with elite creators like Doncic and Kyrie Irving, who drew to fences and served him easy buckets. Strip away that support, and his offensive game is one-dimensional. No mid-range jumper, he shot under 30% from 10 to 16 feet career-wide. 0 3-point threat, just 2 attempts in his career, and hands that lead to turnovers in traffic, 1.2 per game last season. In our system, where Doncic already commands the ball and LeBron needs space for isolations, adding a non-shooting big like Gafford would clog the paint, forcing defenses to sag off him and dare him to create, much like how teams neutralize Rudy Gobert in playoff series by ignoring him offensively. Our current offensive ranking at 23rd isn't just about rim protection. It's about versatility and Gafford's drop coverage style, holding opponents to 0.85 points per pick-and-roll possession, falters and switches against mobile bigs like Nikola Jokic or Chet Holmgren. Where he's been exposed, opponents shoot 55% when he switches per second spectrum data. Compare that to Ayton, who despite his minus 14, for net differential early, largely due to lineup mismatches, offers better post scoring, 18 points per game on 52% shooting, and mid-range touch that spaces a floor. Swapping him out indirectly by adding Gafford would disrupt our balance without addressing the real issue, our perimeter defense allowing 38% from 3. The hottest debates on our /NBA are brutal, with users labeling Gafford a system player, who's averaged just 8 points and 6 rebounds in non-Doncic minutes, and it's valid. His plus 3.2 on off differential in Dallas drops to minus 1.8, without elite guards, suggesting he be average at best in our deeper rotation. Historical parallels sting. Think of the Clippers acquiring Ivica Zubac for similar reasons, only to watch him plateau as a role player without star-level impact. Gafford risks the same. His Quimica Compravada, with Doncic overhyped when we already have that in spades with our current core. Building on that, the second major flaw in this rumor is the outrageous cost. Sacrificing Dalton Connect, a protected 2031 first, and Gabe Vincent for Gafford isn't a small price. It's highway robbery that depletes our youth and future flexibility for a player who's locked into a $60 million deal through 2028 but hasn't proven he can be a true starter on a contender without carrying the load. Connect, our 17th overall pick from 2024, is already flashing star potential with 14 points per game on 42% from 3 in limited minutes, providing the shooting gravity. Defenses close out hard on 55% of his attempts. That opens driving lane for Doncic and LeBron, trading him away for Gafford, who's essentially a younger JaVale McGee. Blocks and lobs, but no creation, is like giving up a potential 20-point scorer for a 10 and 8 guy with defensive warts. Vincent's expiring deal helps match salaries, but throwing a 2031 pick, even protected, is overkill for a Mavericks team in rebuild mode. They'd love our assets to kickstart their youth movement, but we be left cap-strapped with Gafford's escalating salary, up to $22 million in 2028, tying up space for re-signing Reeves or pursuing free agents in 2026. Analysts like Buckley push the dynasty narrative, but contrarian takes on the Bill Simmons podcast call it panic overpaying for familiarity. And Simmons is spot on. Dallas's chaos after Harrison's fire makes Gafford available cheap, yet we're supposedly offering premium assets? That's front office folly, especially when cheaper options like Walker Kessler or even a sign-and-trade for a vet like Steven Adams could provide similar rim protection without gutting our bench. Comps to the Warriors overpaying for Andrew Wiggins in 2020 worked because he was his prime. Gafford at 26 is solid but not transformative, and this deal echoes the failed Dwight Howard reunion in 2021, where nostalgia led to a mismatched fit and early exit. The third pillar exposed in this rumor's dangers is Gafford's inconsistent track record and how it fails to address our broader defensive scheme under J.J. Redick, where versatility trumps raw athleticism. Pursuing him ignores better fits and risks stunting our growth as a balanced contender. Gafford shined in Dallas's finals run with 9 points and 7 rebounds per game, but that was a system tailored to his strengths. Outside of it, his Wizards tenure saw him average just 7 points and 5 rebounds with a minus 2.1 net rating, highlighting his dependency on elite playmaking. Our defense ranks 23rd not because of a lack of lobs, but due to poor perimeter containment, allowing 15 fast break points per game, and switchability. Gafford mobility is good but not elite. He's in the 60th percentile for defensive versatility per B-ball index, and he'd struggle against spread offenses like OKC's, where bigs need a hedge and recover quickly. Hot takes from heavy sports acknowledging cakes, but forums like Lakers Ground are ripping it as ignoring Ayton's upside. And it's true, Ayton's post-game and rebounding 12 per game provide more offensive balance, while Gafford's energy is redundant with our athletic wings. Trading for him would force lineup tweaks that sideline Ayton or create twin tower sets that get exploited in playoffs, much like how the Timberwolves' Gobert-McDaniels pairing faltered against smaller lineups. Though Pinio Forte from Buckley calls it dynasty building, but that's optimistic. Gafford's playoff drop-off, blocks down to 1.5 per game in losses, shows he's not the closer we need. Finally, let's hammer home the strategic misstep. This trade diverts from sustainable building, chasing a quick fix that could unravel our 7-2 chemistry and leave us vulnerable long-term in a cap-constrained league. With LeBron managing health and Doncic carrying the load, 28 points, 9 assists per game, we need moves that add depth, not subtract it. Giving up Connect's cost-controlled upside for Gafford's $20 million annual hit limits our flexibility for extensions or free agency chases in 2026. Dallas's rebuild makes Gafford available, but overpaying sets a bad precedent. Better to target undervalued bigs like Isaiah Hartenstein via free agency or lesser trades. Hot takes from ESPN argue it's viable, but the debate rages that it's short-sighted, echoing the Pelicans overpaying for DeJounte Murray only to stagnate. Projecting forward, dodging this Gafford trap isn't hesitation. It's wisdom that preserves our momentum and builds a true dynasty, blending current strength with future agility. Short-term, sticking with Ayton and internal tweaks could improve our defense to top 15, extending our 7-2 run to 25 and dominating the West with balanced lineups. Long-term, retaining Connect and picks allows us to chase stars in 2026, transitioning seamlessly post-LeBron without contract baggage.